Alright, so let's look at some examples of squaring by shifting. Now, as usual, this video isn't actually going to explain the squaring by shifting method. It's just going to be giving some examples. So if you haven't seen the method already, this video might be a little bit difficult to understand, just because you haven't seen the stuff yet. But I provided a link to a tutorial for the method below. So maybe if you haven't heard of it before, you'd like to check out the tutorial first, and then this video would be a little bit more useful or make a little bit more sense. Alright, so that being said, let's take a look at our first example, which is going to be 21 squared. And also, as usual, I'd like to do all of the examples in two ways. First, I'll do them kind of quickly, the sort of way that you'll be able to do the problems after practicing with the methods for a while. And then I'll also do them again, a little bit more slowly. So I'll do it once quickly, once slowly. And the slower method is there to kind of, show what the slower example is kind of there to sort of show what the method looks like in detail, to kind of see all of the steps individually. Alright, so 21 squared the fast way. We'll think 20 times 22, so that's 440, plus 1. So we're equal to 441. That's what 21 squared is. And doing the same thing, but just doing it a tiny bit slower, would be to say, what are we doing? We're going to do 20 times 22 plus 1 squared. 20 times 22, that's where we get 440. 440. And then 1 squared is, of course, just 1. So altogether, we get 441, just like we did above. Okay, let's look at another example. Let's do 44 squared. So 44 squared, we'll think 40 times 48. 40 times 48, so that's 200 minus 8, so 192, so 1920. So we'll think 1920 plus 4 squared, so plus 16. That's equal to 1936. So 44 squared, that's 1936. And doing the same thing, well, what are we doing? Just spelling things out a little bit more. We're going to do 40 times 48. And we compute, well, maybe I'll say 40 times 48 plus 4 squared. And we're going to compute 40 times 48 using some tricks which you've already seen, or some tricks which are on the Ars Calcula website. So we compute this by thinking 4 times 50, so that's 200, minus 2 times 4, so that's 192, and then we add a 0. So this is where we get the 1920 from. And then 4 squared, that's just 16. So all in all, we get 1936. Okay, and let's do one more example. So the last example, we'll do 78 squared. Okay, so 78 squared, so that's going to be 76 times 80. So 8 times 70 is 560, plus 8 times 6, so plus 48, so 608. Then we add a 0, so it's 6080, plus 4. So it's equal to 6084. That's what 78 squared is. And doing the same thing, what are we multiplying? We're multiplying 76 times 80 plus 2 squared. So to do 76 times 80, we're again just using some other tricks, which are already on Ars Calcula, which is, so 8 times 7, so that's 56, so 560, plus 48. So 560 plus 48 is 608. Then we add the 0. So this is where we get 6080 from, and then 4. So all in all, we get 6084 for what 78 squared is.